Hi everyone, welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host Iggy, and today we're going to switch things up a little bit and focus on some Germans, mostly by Airfix, but also a spattering of Matchbox knockoffs. And the Matchbox knockoffs are a combination of regular German infantry and Africa Corps figures. So let's start off with some really cool figures on the first shelf here. And these are original Airfix Fallschirmjaeger. Now, all these figures you see here I bought in the 1980s, between 1983 and 1986. And I got them at a hobby store in Northridge, California. I think only one set up here is from 1986, and the others are from 1983. In 1983, I was making $75 a month. Sorry, I'm laughing. And that's so pathetic, but I was getting $75 a month from the program I participated in when I was in the Army to go to school, and that was it. I put in enough money that I could get 75, and that's it. So to show how responsible Hickey is, I would go to the hobby store in between classes at Cal State Northridge and buy a box of Airfix figures. I don't need to tell you how irresponsible that is when you're only making $75 and you're buying toy soldiers. But I was living with my mom and dad, so I didn't have rent. And later I got a job at a part-time job at a department store. But the money I made from that I gave to my parents. So all I had was $75 a month. Now, I'm not quite sure what I got. Oh, I was talking about these here. These are Fallschirmjaeger, and it shows them in their jump smock and wearing the distinctive helmet that they wore. Now, the British also had a distinctive jump helmet, and the only ones who didn't were the Americans, but the Americans did have a different chin strap for their airborne, but the steel pot was the same. So let's take a look at them. This guy's, he's a Funkmeister. And we got an officer here. And I suppose you could say these figures are dressed the way they would have been on the jump into Holland at the beginning of World War II, and also Crete, perhaps. But then later the uniform started to change somewhat. This pose is difficult. He's lying on his stomach and he's throwing a grenade, but you can see that he's not laying on the ground properly. His foot should be down like this, but I can't get him to do that. But these are cool figures. I like them quite well, and I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have these too. I know if you're an Airfix fan, you probably have them. I also like the British paras. So let's do a panoramic sweep before we move on to the regular infantry. And I'll try to do this slowly because I know you came to see the figures and not hear me flapping my jawbone, which I do too. Okay, now up here, this massive crowd is probably represents several bags, or not bags, but boxes of Airfix regular infantry. And this would probably be early war, representative of early war uniforms, because as you know, those of you who are interested in these topics and these soldiers know that later the uniforms began to change quite a bit, and what they carried into combat. Now, I think they still carried the gas canister, but a lot of the men ditched the gas mask, and they would put extra rations in their gas can, or they would put letters from home, or they would just use it like a purse, I guess. Although they'd probably be horrified to hear me refer to it as such. But it became clear after the first couple years that gas was probably not going to be used like it was during World War I. So let's do a close-up of this so you can get an idea of what we have here. For some reason, they must have put a lot of these figures, the grenade thrower, in each box, because I think I have quite a number of these. It looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I see 7, but it's hard to distinguish all these figures because it's sort of it looks like the dog's breakfast, so to speak. It's somewhat of a jumble here. Let's see if we get you a better view. So once again, these are the Airfix Wehrmacht, not Wehrmacht. You guys know what Wehrmacht means, right? It just means armed forces. So you could actually call a Navy guy part of the Wehrmacht. The Army was called Heer. Hello, we're here. Hello, anyone there? We are here. Heer. Okay. Now, the last group is, I believe, Matchbox knockoffs of Matchbox figures. You know, the Hong Kong knockoffs. Today you buy like a bucket and it comes with all these figures. Well, that's what these are. And I believe it's a combination of regular Army and Africa Corps. See, like this figure here, you'll notice that he's wearing the shorts and the M41 cap. This one's wearing a helmet. And this guy has shorts on. And this figure, I'm presuming, is Rommel. And you can see he's probably a desert figure as well. This is sort of a weird pose, this one here. Let's take this out so you can take a look at it. It looks weird to me. Most figures that show the MG42, they're in like a prone position. So this is rather different, I suppose. He's got a tripod. Now, there is a figure here that is mixed in here that is not Airfix. All these figures from the parachutists up, they're all Airfix and original Airfix. And these reproduction figures are, I believe, Matchbox. I do have original Matchbox. I think I've showed those to you already. But this figure here, this is a BMC figure. Let's see, there he is. And he looks like a rather skinny Rommel, doesn't he? So let's compare him to this other officer that we have from Matchbox. And you'll see quite a difference in their size. I'm guessing that this is 54 millimeter here, and this one is perhaps 60. Let's compare him to an Airfix officer. Let's see. Here we go. Here's an Airfix. I had a couple divers. And you can see that he's also shorter. Let's move him over here. Are these marked on the bottom? No. But you can see the size comparison. He's actually a little bit taller than this figure. Let's move that here. So we have sort of, well, no, I guess these two are the same size and this one's taller. So we have hello, 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 hello. That's the wrong music. Oh gosh, I'm sorry guys. I'm getting carried away here. So that's my assortment of German figures. Of course, I've presented quite a number of different Germans in previous videos, and I'm glad that I finally found my original Airfix to share with you. Now, I still have some more Germans to share with you, so let's wrap this video up, and I'll set up the next group for you. And I hope you enjoyed this. Forgive my shaky photography. Not quite sure why I'm shaking so much, but what I'll do is I'll check myself out and then make the next video for you, okay? I want to thank those of you who've recently enlisted in the Iggy Army. I was hoping to get you the shadow. There was a really cool shadow over here, but when I moved the camera, of course it disappeared. It was of the hand grenade thrower. Let me see if I can... No. Okay, that's too bad, because it was a really cool looking shadow. What was I saying? I wanted to thank those of you who've recently come along, enlisted in the Iggy Army. And of course, I appreciate each and every one of you. I love your comments. And why not hit the notification bell and the thumbs up? Let me know how it's going. I know some of you don't care for my style of presentation. I understand that. It's if you're not a fan, then it's probably kind of irritating and unprofessional and not very well done. But if you love the toy soldiers, I'm hoping you'll stick around, because I do post, I try to post several videos a day. And in fact, I did a record number yesterday. I think I did 6 yesterday. And I'm hoping to do at least 3 or 4 today. You guys take care of yourselves. Get out those soldiers. Start your collections up. Rev them up. Vroom, vroom. I'd like to see a renaissance in toy soldier collecting. That would be awesome. The 90s were like, in early 2000s, were like the zenith of toy soldier collecting. And then all of a sudden it disappeared. And I'm guessing it's because everybody had everything by then, multiples of everything. But I'm hoping that since then that there's some new people that have come along and have gotten into the hobby. And the thing about collecting is I don't think you can have enough. I know that sounds horrible, but I always feel like more is better when it comes to collecting. Although it does get a little insane, and it can take over your life if you're not careful. I'm one to talk, aren't I? But it's a fun hobby. And like I mentioned in a video yesterday, I bought some toy soldiers from my friend army buddy, and he didn't exactly get angry, but he was a little bit annoyed with me. He said, "I'm not an effing kid. And that's for kids. I'm not a child. I'm a man." And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm just a man child. I don't know. I'll let you ponder that and think about it a little bit. And I'll sign off for today. Well, not for today, but I mean for this video. And I'll say, Auf Wiedersehen. Yay! Auf Wiedersehen. I hope all of you enjoyed the video.